Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Max and Juan Cast live show, late night pick'ems. Max, it is fucking playoff time, dog. How you feeling?
I'm feeling like my team's there and your team's not, bro. So much hope.
You got a bye week. What you
I
looking
I
forward to?
officially won the Pick'ems one with a record of
You know what?
171 and 100 losses. That's big money right there. That's how you do it, dog. You don't be like Juan. You don't pick the Raiders every week, even though you know better.
Yeah. It's easy when your team only loses like 3 games out of the whole year
You
and
factor
you're
out my
picking
team,
them
I
every
still
week.
win. I still win. You factor out my team.
Look, just for you, Max, next week's pick'ems, I'll make sure I put a crown on
Thank
your side
thank
of the
you. I
overlay.
think moving forward, I should have the crown just until the start of next year.
No, you definitely do. But we're gonna start a new one for the playoffs, right?
Oh, that's loser talk.
Well, we're picking the playoffs regardless, man. But we got a jam-packed show for you guys. It's a late night episode. Might not have that many people in the live stream, but welcome to the show, guys. And welcome to whoever's listening or watching this, the aftermath of it. Make sure to hit that like button, bro. It helps us out a lot. And make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. Look, dude, we got blessed with some pretty good playoff games. Some better than others, but I honestly think we got some good ones, and a lot of people don't really seem to agree. Honestly, I've been hearing kind of like, the talks about the playoff games, and people are not as excited. Like, people are not as excited for the Jags and the Chargers. I'm fucking stoked for that one.
So
Like,
okay,
I'm
well,
glad that
so
they picked that.
we didn't have this in like the rehearsal or what our little rundown, but you want to rank the playoff games in order of how you feel about them in interest?
For an interest or entertainment.
No, either one, whatever you want to do.
Okay, number one for me, it's Chargers and Jags.
Okay, I
That's
agree. I agree.
yeah. Number two, I would go Giants and Vikings,
Okay, I'm with you.
and then the next one would be Cowboys and Bucks,
That's my order. Yep.
and then the last one for me is Dolphins and Bills. I know that
Yeah. So I think
the others
4
can be a
has to
toss
be
up.
Seattle and San Francisco, just because divisional
Yeah,
foe. They're playing. Seattle eked their way in. If I knew Lamar was playing, I'd probably have Cincinnati first, but I don't think Lamar's gonna play. I doubt
yeah,
it.
yeah. I doubt it too, man. Let's go ahead and start off with the first game of the weekend. San Francisco 49ers, right? This is the first game.
This is it.
This is it.
This is
Uh
it.
Little divisional matchup. Shout out to all the Niner fans out there. Shout out to Joey. Shout out to my boy Robert. I know he was looking forward to this episode. Uh Me and Max did some digging for some interesting stats here. Now, shout out to Max. Max got the just like bare bones stuff. So as you can see, Seattle is 18th in yards per game, 11th in yards total, and oh no, passing yards. Sorry, excuse me. Total yards, they're 13th, and points per game, they're ninth.
A
So
lot
that's
of
just
middle
like
of the
the
pack. A lot of middle of the
yeah.
pack right there.
This is just the bare bones of it. Look, I'm not gonna read off every single stat here like I did for the Seahawks. I hope you guys are watching the video version of this so you guys can just see it on the screen. So just pay attention to that because I really want to get into some of the stuff where it's stuff like this. Me and Max thought of rookie starters. I feel like this is one of the most glaring things about this game. Charles Cross, Abram Lucas, Kenny Walker, Tariq Woolen, Kobe Bryant, Boy Mafe, 4,577 snaps played this year. And I go back, Max, to this Seahawks team low key broke apart, bro. It low key crumbled. Can we agree on that?
There was a stretch where it was pretty dark and one, just to reiterate what you said about that last slide, that's the most by any team in the playoffs. I haven't done the math, but just thinking off the top of my head, what other playoff team has 6 key guys as rookies?
Yeah, exactly. And this is why it's such lopsided. I mean, dude, Seattle is horrendous against the run. When I think of Seattle run D, just go look back at the Josh Jacobs film. It was bad. Like,
Yeah, I mean, they're 30th in the league, and that's 150 yards per game. And this is probably a good time to throw up the Niners offensive stats because you're going to see that running attack. And it's going to say, what is it? I think it's ninth or eighth, 138 a game. That doesn't indicate how good of a running team they are. They are the best team running in the league in my book. Yeah, that's not a matchup you want to see on. You don't want to see your greatest weakness is the team's greatest strength. So I think one of the biggest keys, one, and it's just Seattle has to find a way. And
right,
it's we always talk about running the ball. It's not necessarily, I mean, excuse me, stopping the run isn't just about having the like schematics, but they have to just do it. Like they have to go in there. They have to have discipline a little bit. They just have to be able to move this front of San Francisco. And then the scary thing is, one, Kyle Shanahan can beat you with the schematics too.
yeah. And we take a look at some of the rankings for the Niners. This defense, man, it's legit. It's almost first in everything, all the important stuff, which is, the yards can be skewed a lot, but one stat that you cannot just glance over is the points per game. I feel like that really indicates a really good defense most of the time. And they're number one. It's 16.3 per game. Uh yeah, they played some bad quarterbacks in their schedule, but they're legit, man. Like they got great corners. Uh Nick Bosa is player of the year for defense. I don't even think that's a question. I don't even think anyone is front runner like close to him. So it's gonna be funny to see how these rookie tackles face up against Nick Bosa. We
They
seen
have to
it a
hold
couple of
up.
weeks ago.
They have
Yeah.
to hold up. And it's not like they haven't seen him before, one.
Yeah. And
Abraham Lucas played 16 games. Charles Cross played almost every snap. It's just,
right,
how do you slow this guy down?
right. Some of the injuries for the Niners, they're going in healthy, bro. This game, this is probably the most healthiest they've been all year because they get Debo back. Debo played a little bit last week, so you would think he's a full go. Injuries on the Seahawks side, Jordan Brooks, that's a tough loss. Travis Homer and Marquise Goodwin also all on IR. Tough losses for the Seahawks, but they got DK, they got Tyler Lockett. They still got a chance in my book. Max, did you put the stat in here about Brock Purdy or
Um,
no?
no, I think I went a different way. I think there's one. This is what
Bosa,
I
Bosa
thought
or
this was
bust?
more interesting. They have a lot of sacks as a team, but one they have one other guy outside. I mean, I'm just saying, excuse me. Who's the guy, Juan? Who's the guy who's going to step up outside of Nick Bosa? Eh,
Man, I mean, you would think it's Eric Armstead.
He's been banged up a lot, one. Like I don't
Yeah,
know. I was just very surprised to see. Damn, they have like you think of San Francisco the last few years. It's the guys like Eric Armstead, DeForest Buckner. You think of Javon Kinlaw, who's not been really much of anything. You think of D Ford for a while, but they really
yeah.
are Nick Bosa centric. And if you can find a way to neutralize Nick Bosa, how good of a chance do you think Seattle has?
And they'll have a great chance. You slow down that pass rush, it opens up things for the outside because the Niners love to play man-to-man press, and I feel like Lockett and DK can get open. They just need a little bit of time for those things
DK
to
doesn't
develop.
necessarily even need to get open. You just got to give him a chance, and he'll
Yeah,
go get it.
yeah, yeah. Like, what's the recipe to start off for this game for the Seahawks? Like, is it running the ball or do you want to see them passing the ball? Because I think it's running. I think you have to start off with Kenny Walker and everything will open up.
Yeah,
Because you
I
do
agree.
not want Geno Smith just like slinging the fucking ball
You
out
don't
there.
want Bosa to start teeing off and just not having to
Yeah,
worry about anything. I think the key to success is you got to establish the run early if you're Seattle. Work it off some play action, take a deep shot, and most importantly, you cannot give them short fields. We have a rookie quarterback in Brock Purdy coming into this game, Mr. Irrelevant. We all know the story. This is his first. I mean, he's still wet behind the ears. One now you're throwing him into a playoff game, and yeah, it's at home. He's going to be comfortable, but you got to put it on him a little bit. You just can't let you can't let San Francisco, excuse me, just run all over the place. You can't let him throw 6 passes and let him win the game. They
yeah,
have to just dare them to pass the ball. They have the corners to do it. Seattle wants to play pass defense. They don't want to play run defense. That's the truth.
yeah. And you bring up Brock Purdy, Max. Uh Do you consider the Niners a Super Bowl team, right?
They're a
Like Super
contender.
Bowl
Yeah.
contenders? Yeah, most definitely. So the crazy thing about that, we say that, right? And at the end of this all, if the Niners can get it done and win the Super Bowl, that means Brock Purdy would have to win 10 straight games in a row and start off his career 10-0.
It's a
Like
Big
we
Ben
kind of
level right there.
yeah, it is some Big Ben level. Like we forget like this guy is a rookie, like Max brought up, and Mr. Irrelevant, bro. Like he's doing it. Like I find it crazy. Can he do it? Is it possible? Yes, anything is possible, as to quote on Joey. But is it likely? I really don't see it, Max. And my last question to this,
They're
Max.
due. They're due for a loss. One. What are they? 8-game win streak.
Yeah. Like, yeah, when are we gonna see the Brock
Let's just
Purdy
say. Let's
rookie
just
game?
imagine this scenario. They're kind of outmaneuvering them. They throw a red zone pick. They have a fumble, special team,
Right.
something, and all of a sudden you're like, "Dang, we're outplaying these guys." But it's like 14-14 in the fourth quarter, and then at that point, it's just about who wants it more.
Yeah, the closest adversity that I seen Brock Purdy have was against the Raiders, but it wasn't your typical like backs against the wall. They still had the run game going. The Raiders didn't get any crazy pick six on him or a sack fumble in the beginning of the game. It was more of just a shootout. It was back and forth, and Purdy proved that he can go toe to toe, like back and forth in a shootout. But like you said, what's going to happen when Tariq Woolen picks you off, pick six? Safety. Start the game off with a bad fumble. We're gonna see how he responds, bro. We still haven't seen it, so that's something to keep an eye on. But me and Max are going with the Niners, man. They're just too strong. They're too good. Um, Two things that the Seahawks got going for them is the division opponent thing and Brock Purdy rookie game. That's really all their hope. Other than that, I don't see it.
Yeah, it's going to be an upward battle. They're going to have to maybe they break a Kenny Walker 80-yard run. They're going to have some fluky plays to beat them. I don't see them just coming out and taking it to San Fran. I really
Yeah.
don't.
All right, let's go ahead and head to Minnesota where they're facing the New York Giants. Max, this is my upset pick. I'm just spoiling it right now. I'm going with the New York Giants. I think this has spoiler alert
One,
all
I'm agreeing with you. I'm not going to argue with you. These teams
really.
played, and I was like, Minnesota got lucky to get out of this one. Like you
Yeah.
guys are going to see, especially if you're watching. I'm not going to go through it, but just look at the ranks for a lot of their things. And this is what Juan wanted to talk about. He can't believe this.
Point differential. I think that's the most eye-popping thing. I think they have the worst point differential for their for a team that's this many wins or whatever. They won
They're
11 one-score games,
Yeah,
man.
they've have 12 wins, right?
That's insane.
And one we talked about. There's only one other team with a negative point differential. It's the Seattle Seahawks, but they were not no 12 win like supposed to be juggernaut team.
Right, right.
So
Some of the offensive rankings for the Vikings. They're really good. They're top 10 for the most part, except for the run game. Dalvin Cook hasn't been all that amazing this year, but it's all about the pass game. It's all about the Kevin O'Connell. They look like the Rams from last year. Cooper Cup role for Justin Jefferson. But are the Giants going to be able to stop Justin Jefferson? Because I believe this game, JJ went off, like in that last drive, to be specific, to get him into field goal range. And I think that's going to be, of course, the X factor, bro. As good as he is, it's going to be JJ Jettas.
12 for 133 last time they played one, Justin
Yeah, he
Jefferson.
killed him.
But on the flip side, one just to hit on the Giants, Saquon Barkley could be a humongous X factor.
Yeah.
So real quick, you were talking about Justin Jefferson. Do you think what's the plan if you're the Giants to just slow him down? I have my plan. I want to hear what yours is.
I just think you can't double him because I think that's going to open up things for KJ Osborne and stuff. I just feel like you have to run zone. You have to run zone.
No, I'm in
You
the
have to
opposite.
run zone.
I think you do double him. You don't worry about the run. I think the Giants front four can take care of the run, or front seven. Kayvon, Big Dexter Lawrence, healthy Leonard Williams, Ojulari. You shut down the run, you make them one-dimensional. You maybe hit Kirk Cousins when he's throwing, you get a pick. And you got to let somebody else beat you. You can't let the best player beat you.
Yeah. You got to go Bill Belichick style. Some of the injuries for the Giants, Wandale Robinson, of course, on IR. Azeez Ojulari, I suck at saying his name. Ankle, he's questionable. But who's gonna wind up manning him up? Is it Adoree Jackson?
I think you stick a Dory on number 2, and then you hit him with a combination of the other 3 corners and then the safety over the top. Maybe you just bracket them in, kind of like Seattle. Like, remember when the Chiefs lost to the Patriots, and it was like they don't have Stephon Gilmore on Tyreek, they have J.C. Jackson plus the safety, and then Sammy Watkins can't ever get open, or Travis Kelce's having a hard time. That's what you got to do. You can't let the best player beat you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a quarterback where he's going to get his stuff regardless.
Right.
Don't let
Let's
Justin
check out.
Jefferson.
Let's check out the interesting stat that we have for the Giants. Max came up with explosive plays, 28 plays of 20 plus yards, last in the NFL, and 5 plays of 40 plus yards, 25th in the NFL. It's bad. It's bad because they don't have any receivers, as we love to say.
And second place one for explosive plays of 20 plus yards was the Ravens, and they had 5 more 20-yard plays.
Wow.
That's
yeah. And they win. They find ways to win this Giants team. I think Kenny Golladay got a little bit of burn.
and just so you know, that's passing numbers, and that's not necessarily factoring in Saquon Barkley in the run game, but that's passing numbers, and it's a passing league. Like, if you can't get 20-yard pass plays, what happens when it's 3rd and long, Juan? What if it's 3rd and 18? You need a big play.
Yeah.
What are you going to go to? Quarterback draw?
Yeah. And that's going to be interesting about Daniel Jones, man, because he's going to use his legs, but as I love to say in the playoffs, you got to be able to have that quarterback that can fit balls into tight windows. And you're going to have to throw the ball on a 3rd and 10, 3rd and 15, 3rd and 7. Just these, hard downs to get first. And Daniel Jones is going to have to prove it. Now, granted, he's playing against a really bad Vikings defense who is fucking horrendous. But I think they can get it done, bro. I really do. If they can just muck up this game like they did last time, keep it under 30. Anything over 30, it's a loss. I believe it's going to be a loss for the Giants. They have to keep it in the 20 ranges, just like they did last time. Muck up the game. Yeah, Justin Jefferson's going to get his, but don't let him destroy you. Don't let him beat you like last time, because that's what happened. On that last drive, it was Justin Jefferson against the Giants. He's the one that got him in the field goal range.
If you're a Giants fan, what's the number Saquon Barkley has to hit on? Because you have agreed, Saquon Barkley is the biggest piece of this offense, right?
Yeah.
What's the number of yardage he needs to hit for you to feel comfortable about 120?
120 plus.
And what's the yardage you hold Justin Jefferson to? Like, the most you can stomach and feel good about, like, winning?
Under 120. So like anywhere in the 100 to 120 range.
Yes, right, I think it's amazing. It's like a 10 out of 10 if you hold him under 100. If he gets like 105, you're like, that's like an 8 out of 10. You can live with that. Right. You're like, okay. Anything over 120, you're like, oh crap, it's going to be a long.
It's all about the explosive plays. Some of it can be fluke ass like yardage. Don't let them get the explosive big time plays on like 14. 3rd down.
You let him catch a 20-yard dig, and you're just like, what the hell?
Exactly. But as me and Max said, we're on the same page, bro. Giants upset here. We're both picking the Giants. I got a 1-point game. I think they're going to kick a field goal to beat these guys. Last second type of thing. I think it's going to catch up to the Vikings this year, man. You can't just keep on winning these close games. And the Giants are just a weird team, bro. They're fucking weird. You don't want to play this team.
I agree with you. I think the luck is going to run out on the Minnesota Vikings. And I mean, how many games can you win like this one? How many games can you win with a lucky 3-leaf clover or a shamrock? How many times can you do this? Yeah. It's going to run out.
It happened to the Raiders last year in the playoffs. It was a close game again, and he just didn't have that magic at the end like they have been all year. It's going to happen, bro. It's going to catch up to you. Let's go ahead and hit the probably doozer of the fucking weekend, bro. It's a terrible game. Bills and Dolphins. Look, Bills are a great team. I have them going super far into the playoffs, but the Dolphins, man, is, they just they shouldn't be here. Honestly, I think I rather have seen the Steelers. Honestly, I mean the Steelers or the Patriots. I take that back. The 7th seed was just terrible in the AFC. It was gonna be a bad team, okay, but Skylar Thompson's gonna be starting for them boys. I don't think it's gonna be close.
No.
Uh Dolphins are Dolphins. Bills are at the top of a lot of stats, man. Fourth and takeaways, 27 total. Like
Well,
the one
actually,
thing that
I think the one thing that if you can go back one slide, is they give the ball up a lot. One, they can shoot themselves in the foot, and that's what's a little scary to me. If I'm a Bills fan, it's just that's the only way the Bills are going to lose this game if they shoot
yeah,
themselves in the foot.
I don't think Miami can score, bro. They can't score. That's the problem here. Skylar Thompson is he's a he's a bum. Like he sucks. He sucks, bro. Like he cannot get the ball out there, bro. He's
It's not
terrible.
necessarily his fault. He's a third string quarterback for a reason. He's not supposed to
Yeah,
be starting your playoff game. This reminds me of TJ Yates one, but all my Houston fans out there know TJ Yates got it done
he
a couple
did.
times, right?
Yeah, I think
So
so.
they're going to need something like that. And look at the Bills. They have a top 10 rushing offense, and this is their yardage. This is unbelievable. This is not a good running team, guys. This is a few instances where stats don't tell the whole side of things. And I asked
Yeah.
one off air. I was like, what do you think the Bills' rushing offense is? 32. I'm like, bro, they're like 8, 7. They're better than the Niners. What
Yeah,
world is
Josh
this?
Allen. Josh Allen be that running back, bro. 762 yards. It's ridiculous, man. Um, but that's the tell of the tape, basically, for these two teams. You guys can see some of the Dolphin stats. At least on defense, middle of the pack for a lot of stuff. They're
They
good
can slow
against the
down this
run.
Bills' elite running game one.
I know, right? Uh, but for the Dolphins, like we said, missing Tua, this offense is just not the same. Even with Teddy Bridgewater, I won't trust it. It is just not the same at all, man. Uh, Here's the spread for this one. I want to say it's the largest spread uh ever for a playoff game. I think this shot up, Max, to 12 or 13.
Yeah,
I want to
I'll double
say.
check it right now because I did this Tuesday night. So
Yeah, because we got confirmation that Tua was out this morning,
yeah,
I
I don't
believe.
think we see Tua. Even if they win, I don't think we see Tua again this year. Like
Right.
that's 13. 13 right now.
13. Yeah. Most ever in a playoff game. Just goes to show you how undermatched Miami is. So Bills all the way, man. Shout out to Bills Mafia. 30-10. Max got 38-13.
It's gonna this season for Miami's gonna end just like last season. A cold day in Buffalo.
No. All right, let's hit the Saturday night game. Jags and Chargers, baby. This is gonna be a great one. You got the Jags at home. Chargers coming to town. Haven't made the playoffs in a very long time. Justin Herbert's debut versus T Law's debut. Uh, Storylines for this one. You got, of course, like I said, Herbert against T Law. Self harm. Both of these teams. One of them super young. The other one is self destructive because of their head coach. You don't know what you're gonna get, what team you're gonna get.
Yeah, one of these teams hates themselves.
Exactly. But here's some of the stats while we talk over the game, man. Max, first initial thoughts about this one.
Tall quarterbacks, short hair versus long hair. Clemson versus Oregon. This is just to me a future match. It's like this is going to be a matchup we're going to see a lot going forward because, you know, after 1 year, I think we could all say, man, Trevor Lawrence, I can't believe where his stock is at. A lot of that had to do with Urban Meyer and all the stuff around him. So Trevor Lawrence has taken the leap one. He's established himself as a star in this league. Justin Herbert has been a star since he stepped on the field, and now he gets a chance to show it to you and shut you up after calling him out, calling out the Chargers, saying, hey, you can't make the playoffs. It's his third year. He made it. Shut up.
Fourth
Say
year.
you're sorry. Apologize one more time.
Is it his fourth year?
That's third. I digress.
Look, man, it's gonna be a great game. I hope so. I don't think these teams are gonna self-destruct. I have faith that it's gonna be a really good one. Some of the stats for the Chargers, man. Defensive ranking. Not as bad as what they were during the season at some points.
18th is like, oh my, well, great job, guys.
Yeah,
14
right.
spots better than usual.
I think this team just really caught their stride at the perfect time, Max. Like, I want to say after the Raider game, they have been rolling. Like, I
Yeah.
think they beat Miami. They beat Tennessee in a close one. Like, they've just been getting it together, and slowly but surely, they've been getting more healthier. And that's what I want to talk about in this one, because Mike Williams looked like he was out for the season on the damn
Oh my,
stretcher
on a
last week.
cart.
Yeah, it had back spasms. I hope it's just back spasms because
It
he
is.
needs to
And
play.
he should be good. He should be good. Derwin should be good. Kenneth should be good. Rashawn Slater activated? This is
I don't
new.
think he's gonna play though. He's not gonna play. I
That's
think if anything, he has more
it,
of a chance if
will
they
not
if
play, but if the Chargers get past them, that is humongous, man.
yeah,
That's
right.
crazy.
Yeah. Uh
Chargers, man, it might all be coming together for the team with the worst fan base in football.
uh this is what you had for the Jags, Clemson fumbleettes.
Fumbleitis.
Fumbleitis. That's how you spell fumbleitis?
I don't know. It's a made up word.
Fumbleitis. Trevor Lawrence, 12 fumbles. Travis Etienne, 5 fumbles. 13 fumbles total, third in the NFL.
Yeah, lost, I think. Those are all lost fumbles. That's a lot of fumbles.
No.
Scares me, one. It freaking scares me.
Yeah. Look, I think one matchup that not a lot of people are looking at is the defensive line versus the offensive line for this one. Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker, and them boys are going to be coming. And I know Justin Herbert does well against pressure, but I like my chances with the Jags with
Well,
their
how do you feel
defensive
about the
line.
other side? Khalil Mack, Joey
I don't I
Bosa?
I don't feel the same. I don't think Joey Bosa is 100%. He didn't look that explosive. Khalil Mack he hasn't been anything bad or anything. I just don't think
He
he's
has
the
his
guy that
moments. He has his
yeah,
moments.
hopefully and you know what? Veterans come out in the best times like him, you know.
Von
They
Miller
they
last year, for instance.
exactly. They tend to like bring their game up to another level, and hopefully Matt can do that. But I do think that's the key to beating the Chargers is you have to get pressure on Herbert and they start crumbling. Because I love this stat that we got for the Chargers, Max. If I can find it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, you went with third down efficiency.
Yeah. What was the other one you wanted to hit, though?
So the one I wanted to hit is the yards per pass for Justin Herbert. This
Oh,
is a
yeah.
short
It's
game.
abysmal.
This is a short game passing offense. So they want to get the ball out quick. Why? Because they know that their offensive line sucks. They know they're prone to pressure without Rashawn Slater. So if you can get to them and cover these guys quick, you can get to Justin Herbert, bro, and make it a fucking wreckage of a game for the Chargers. The Raiders did it with Chandler Jones and Max Crosby. You can do it, bro. And I think Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker have a really good chance. But third down efficiency for them, they average the most third downs per game, most in the NFL, but they also average the most conversions, most in the NFL. And they run the most plays, first in the NFL. And I think that's a testament for how many short yardage
It's all
that they
dink
get.
and dunk. It's
It's all dink
all
and
dink
dunk.
and dunk. And for what everyone asking what Juan was talking about, he was talking about their average pass attempt is 6.7 yards, which is 23rd in the league. And you have
Yeah.
arguably the best arm in football on your team.
Yeah.
I think that hurts the Chargers one. It's every drive they score is like 16 plays, 85 yards. It's like, how about how about a 5-play 65-yard drive? How's that
They
sound?
can't do it. They can't do it. Or Herbert can do it, but it's just
They
this
have no
Lombardi offense.
speed also at receiver that you're not scared of Mike Williams running by you. You're not scared of Keenan Allen. That's not his game. But you can give Mike Williams a deep ball. He's got one of the best deep ball catchers in the league.
Yeah. And they lost that when they lost Jalen Guyton. That was supposed to be like their speed guy.
Yeah.
But We'll see, man. One more thing before we pick the game. Guy that can wreck this game for you, that can absolutely take it over. Austin Eckler. You got to hold him. You got to hold him down. Uh, he's gonna
Man,
come
he's
ball
got
game.
fumbleitis too. On a side note,
Yeah,
one that
yeah,
scares me. That
yeah.
freaking scares me.
Because if you get into the moment where you can stop Austin Eckler, everything else kind of crumbles for the Chargers. If he winds up going off, more often than not, they're gonna win. That's the way the Chargers roll.
So right now, one before you pick, who's playing better, Chargers or Jaguars?
I would say the Chargers. The
I would
Chargers are
agree.
playing better. I'm throwing out week 18
No,
just yeah, for the Chargers, but I even though the Jags won week 18, there was a little moment there that they were getting beat by Joshua
we were
Dobbs.
like, oh my god, is Tennessee gonna beat these guys with
Right.
Josh Dobbs? And one, that is why I am picking, to no surprise to anybody who's been following us, the Superchargers. What do Jaguars not like? One lightning.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I got the Jags. I got 28-24.
See, a Jaguar can't attack lightning. One,
Hey, man, a Jaguar can maybe outrun Lightning.
I don't know.
I
Zoom.
don't know. Them boys are zoomy. Speaking of animals, man, let's go to the Ravens and the the Ravens and the Cincinnati Bungles, aka the Bengals, playing in Cincinnati, man. Another divisional matchup for a playoff game, and this one, it's obvious, bro. Lamar, 8-4 with Lamar, 2-3 without him, and the stats show it. 350 with Lamar, 2.5 touchdowns, and that shit drops drastically
They
to
can barely score a
0.8.
touchdown.
And Tyler Huntley's hurt too.
We expect him to play, but oh man, this is not ideal. It's not ideal for Baltimore. And I get the Baltimore's not based on their running, but hey, with Lamar, at least teams are a little scared of it. One, a little scared.
Yeah. Look, I think Baltimore is done for.
Yeah,
I think they know that Lamar is not going to play, and I don't think Lamar wants to play. I think if he was under contract, Max, I do think he plays, but it's just not smart
I don't
too.
know.
It's not smart too.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. It's almost so like, do you really want a guy who won't go out there and risk it? But it's also like, was he going to go out there, tear his ACL, and never get paid a day in his life?
Right.
Yeah, you don't want to
Right.
get Robert Griffin, dude.
Yeah, and that's why I think Lamar is done with the Ravens. I truly feel that way.
Hmm.
With all the injuries that Tua has with these concussions, and it is a scary thing. Nobody really wants to bring it up, but this is his third concussion with Tua. And I don't think it's a talent thing. I think it's availability thing with Tua. He's been hurt in college and he's been hurt in the pros. So I see it Lamar to Miami because he's been hinting
I
at
was
that.
like, okay, we're
And
talking about Tua. We're not talking about the Dolphins, but I like,
yeah,
okay, I didn't
no,
realize
yeah,
that's where you were heading with this. And what about this one? How many more lower bodies injuries Lamar going to take? Last year it was an ankle. This
yeah.
year a knee.
At
Not
the
really what
worst
you want to see.
times.
Yeah, not really something you want to see from a quarterback who, I hate to say it, depends on his legs more than most.
Yeah. But the Bengals are rolling, bro. The
Oh my
Bengals
god,
are
they're
absolutely
kicking ass,
rolling.
man. They're playing
Yeah.
great. I almost feel more confident in Baltimore losing than I do in Miami losing. Like that's how good I think Cincinnati's playing.
Right. Yeah, Cincinnati to me, man, is the three best teams you know what, top four. Because my Super Bowl teams, I hate to say it, I don't have the Eagles in the confident level like I have these other teams. I got the Bengals, the 49ers, the Chiefs, and the Bills. Those are my four. And the Bengals, they have this guy named Joe Smoking Cigar Burrow, and he just rises to the occasion, bro. I don't think in a vacuum he's better than Justin Herbert, or he's fast or strong like Josh Allen, or Lamar Jackson. He's just a guy that really plays up to anyone's level. and he steps his game up every single time. And that's something I'm fucking scared of, bro.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a Ravens fan, I think the only way of hope is Joe Burrow's just off, like completely off. Throws a couple picks, short fields, you get up, you run the ball, but I don't think any of that can happen. I think Bengals can stop the run way too good. I don't think Joe Burrow's going to fall into simple mistakes. I think you're going to have to beat Joe Burrow. I don't think Joe Burrow's going to beat himself.
Yeah. And Cincinnati is 6-1 at home this year. The one and only loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers week 1. That's kind of skewed. They could have had another win or another loss, but as you guys know, the Damar Hamlin situation, that game was canceled. So they only played 7 games technically. But Cincinnati is amazing at home, and they're going to
They're
be playing at
rolling.
home. Yeah, they're rolling, man. I got Bengals, bro. I see them going to the next round, 30-23. Maybe the Ravens get a garbage touchdown at the end to make it look close, but I don't think so. And the Bengals are equipped to play anyway, Max. They can play that ruck it out, dug it out, like run game style. They can go ahead and pass the ball everywhere. They're able to play defense. I don't think they have a really big hole on their team. Like, what's the hole, Max? What can't they do? Now, you can argue they don't do something at an elite level.
Yeah, there's literally no weakness to this team. I think if you had to pick the worst part about it, maybe the corners, cover corners aren't that great.
Yeah. Jadobi
But
Awuzie out for the year. So that
yeah, and good old Eli Apple. Never
go
heard
ahead and
anyone catching a
expose
ball on
that
that
boy.
guy one. But yeah, I
But
think the Ravens are doomed, man. Another,
yeah,
I mean, it's just a testament to how good they are as a team and organization that they're even in the playoffs, but they shouldn't really be.
exactly. Okay, let's go to the last game
Oh my
of the
gosh.
Super Wild Card weekend. And this is not on the weekend. This is on Monday Night
You still like the
Football,
Monday
y'all.
game or not really?
I really don't.
It's
Who
definitely
played
better than
last year?
last year's Monday game with the Cardinals.
Cardinals and Rams, right? But I think this is a ESPN throw a bone at me type of thing. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman on the call. They get the Bucks and the Cowboys. I think I would have loved to see this game on Sunday,
You know,
honestly.
Troy can't wait to root for those Cowboys. I can't leave Dak Prescott. Gotta make that
Yeah, man.
throw.
And the Sharks are on this one. The Sharks are on this one in Vegas. Everyone and their mama is gonna be betting with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it seems like. Dallas is only 2.5-point favorites. Money line is Dallas minus 145. Tampa Bay is plus 122. The over-under is 45.5 points. Look, man, for Dallas.
There's a lot at stake. A lot.
Is there? So Jerry Jones kind of killed it, though.
Bull
You don't
crap.
think so?
Bull
You think it's
crap.
bull?
Jerry Jones is such a calm, collected. Jerry Jones loves losing. I don't know if you guys know that. Come on, guys. This is just a little fluff stuff just to keep the team in because, Mike McCarthy's feeling the heat. He should have been canned last year. Come on, man. If they come out and they lose the way I think they're going to lose by shooting themselves in the foot, being undisciplined, how can you keep this guy? And look how they're not coming
I
into the
believe it.
hot one. Oh, they just didn't whoop Washington's butt. They had something to play for.
They're
And
playing
they
their
got
worst
trounced.
football.
And Dak Prescott loves to throw interceptions. He's on his streak. Matt Schwab,
Yeah.
where you at?
Yeah, they're playing some of their worst football, Max, but I do believe Jerry Jones when he says that Mike McCarthy's job is safe. I think the only guy that's able to get Mike McCarthy fired is Sean Payton. That's the only guy. And I do think it'll have to be something tremendous of getting this dude fired. I think Jerry Jones is going to stick with him. Do I think they should fire him? Yes. If he gets blown out or lose this game, yes, you should fire him. But that's not going to happen. I think they're going to keep McCarthy. It's one of those things like who else are you going to get? Like,
I don't know. Let's just try though.
yeah. He gets you a winning season. Some teams just love that. Some teams, dream about that. But I think McCarthy is safe, man. Look, this is such a funny stat, man. Everyone's been talking about it. Me and Max want to put our little input in there because it's probably one of the most interesting things that we found on the Cowboys. Playing on grass. Okay. So 1-4, as Jason Garrett said on NBC. 20th ranked EPA on real grass fields, 11-1 on turf fields. Second ranked RPA on turf
EPA,
fields.
sorry, that would be a typo,
EPA.
guys. I'm sorry.
So Tampa Bay plays on grass, of course.
On grass.
And do you take anything into this, Max? Does this matter to you?
I think grass naturally is going to slow guys down a little bit, and I think Dallas is a team that depends on a lot of speed, whether it's CeeDee Lamb, Tony Pollard, and Tampa Bay is kind of the opposite, where they're like, we got Vita Vea, we got just big people, and I think that kind of blends into it. So if you're Dallas, I think it's something to keep on the back of your mind. If you're betting against Dallas or betting on them, you have to keep that in consideration. And I know this Tampa Bay team's been really wonky all year. Like, they're trash. We can't believe that they're here now. They barely got in. They're 8-9. But you know what, Juan? I don't believe in Dallas. I think they're going to shoot themselves in the foot. I think Tom Brady, as much as I hate him, is going to summon up some of that GOAT energy. They're going to win a game where Dallas has plenty of chances but can't take advantage of it. Dak's going to shoot themselves. That's just what I believe. And I think Tampa can actually pose some problems. Even though they have a horrible run game, I think they can actually expose Dallas a little bit.
So that's what you had for Tampa Bay rushing attack. Only 3 games with 100+ rushing yards. And it was week 10, 161. Week 1, who was against the Cowboys, had
Best average
152.
4.6 is really good.
Yeah, and week 16, 115. I believe that was against the Eagles, right? For week 16.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But, we were tanking that week. We were tanking a little bit now.
Gardner Minshew was playing. I don't count.
Yeah, big Minch.
Look, man, I'm on the complete opposite. I wish I can go with the GOAT. I wish I can trust the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it sounds good. But people have short-term memory, because what the fuck has Tampa Bay done all year to make you prove that they can win a playoff game against
They won
the
their
Dallas
division
Cowboys?
one.
Against
They
a
did more
Carolina
than Dallas.
Against a Carolina Panther team who was on their 4th or 3rd quarterback in
Hey,
Sam Darnold.
last year when Dallas won, they're the best.
Interim head coach and Steve Wilkes, and you're over here clamoring about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm sorry. Look, it's a great bet. I think they're going to cover. They might, keep it close, but I got Dallas, dude. I got Dallas. I think Michael Parsons is going to make Tom Brady's life a living hell. They're dead last in giving up sacks. Or I think if I said that wrong. First.
Tampa's the
something
best
like that.
at not giving up sacks.
Tampa's the best at not giving up sacks. Okay. Let me get that clear. Micah Parsons, though, I think he's going to kill it in this one, man. I think Dallas is going to get to Tom Brady. Tom Brady's a sitting duck. And nothing from Tampa Bay believes me to predict like they're going to win. I don't see it. I don't. They haven't done anything all year. They lost to Pittsburgh. They lost to New Orleans almost.
Like, bad matchups, Juan. It's a matchup game.
It is. It's a game of matchups, but I can't see it, and I cannot. I just can't pick Tampa Bay.
So let me see the score. I want to see does Dallas win in this game? Are you really going with Dallas, Juan? You can't get back in the pick'ems.
I'm going with Dallas.
Did it, guys?
24-17.
Tampa Bay.
And you have a close one. You got a mug it out ass game.
It's really a blowout. They just score a late touchdown, make it respectable, go for an onside.
Troy's that Dallas hating you. You just want to see Mike McCarthy fucking burn. That's what you want to see.
Some people just want to see the world burn, one.
But yeah, I'm rolling with Dallas, dude. I don't like Dallas, but I can't trust Tampa Bay, man. Like, tell me what you see with Tampa Bay winning. Like, is it week 1? Is that what it is?
I think they just pose some problems for Dallas in the matchup front, and I think they're a veteran team, and I think they're going to kind of get a little bit more awoke for this game specifically, and I think they'll just be ready. And I think Dallas is going to shoot themselves in the foot. I think Dallas will lose this game more than Tampa's going to win it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think Tony Pollard is going to get going, man. Tony Pollard, I think CD is going to
eat. Banged up.
Yeah. Hey, that's why you got Zeke.
So you pay Zeke $20 million a year.
Exactly. That's why you pay Zeke $20 million a year. But
Zeke having Zeke's like equivalent to having Russell Westbrook come off the bench for $45 million a year, bro.
Exactly. But I think that's gonna do it,
Best
man. Those are
predictions.
all the playoff games. Uh, who's your lock of the week, Max?
Oh, I have the Bengals for sure.
Good. Bengals. I'm
Yeah.
going with the Bills, man. I think that's a lock. Dolphins, they're favored, or excuse me, they're underdogs, most points ever in a playoff game. You just you're not gonna win
I
with
think they were
Skylar
pretty
Thompson.
easy locks of the week.
Yeah. Who do you trust more, Skylar Thompson or Tyler
Anthony
Huntley?
Brown. I don't know.
Anthony Brown. Oh my goodness. Yeah, man. So there you guys go. Max, I'm gonna get the graphics ready because we're gonna switch over to our all pro.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be doing stuff on the computer. How about you explain to everybody how we did it, what's going through our head? Um, you mentioned to me on the text, like, fuck how the writers do it. This is our all pro list.
Mm-hmm.
Go into that.
It is. So, guys, this is the third iteration one of the list we've had. We've done 3 all-pro teams. So this year we decided, hey, we're gonna do 2 quarterbacks for each team because I think it's bull crap that there's only 2 quarterbacks all-pro. There's 5 elite there may be 6 or 7 elite quarterbacks. Having just 2 as all-pro, I think, is a disservice to how good these guys are. For instance, our first team quarterbacks are Patrick Mahomes, who we had as a unanimous selection, and we're going to specify who is the unanimous selections. And then we have Jalen Hurts as the second first team quarterback. Personally, I had Josh Allen. One had Jalen Hurts. We had a heated discussion. We had some words were exchanged, hands were thrown, but we came to the realization we had Jalen Hurts. So we basically made our cases, and we're both big enough, like men and grown ups, to admit when we kind of see one person has a superior case, and that's what we did. So we're gonna
Yeah,
have.
and you
Go ahead,
know
man.
what? We didn't try to put guys on here off team success as much as some people do. I know it's gonna look like that, but we really do have guys in here that are kind of all over the map. Me and Max use a lot of stuff. We don't take in any information that we get, we don't throw it out the window necessarily. We look at stats. Of course, we look at the film. We watch the games. Um, we go off some PFF grades. We look at some of the advanced stats. Like, we take everything into account.
Yeah,
And
the
there's some guys
context,
on.
it's like,
Yeah.
Dante Foreman had a bunch of rushing yards when they were down in games. Oh, that's really not that cool. Game's already over. Stats don't matter. And that's not true. I'm just saying for an example. He's just the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm getting the defense in here, Max. So let's go ahead and start with the quarterbacks, obviously. And
Okay.
as Max said, unanimous. We went with Patrick Mahomes. If this graphic will go up there, there we go. All right, Patrick Mahomes, and we got Jalen Hurts, man. QB1, QB2. I got Jalen Hurts, man, because he is amazing this year, bro. Like, he hasn't had really a bad moment besides week 18. This guy's been on fire, and the weapons have been great. Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, like AJ Brown having a career year. And yes, does he have a really good offensive line? Yeah, but for him to have the consistency, man, that's the big thing for me all season. Josh Allen in a vacuum, is he better? Yes. Justin Herbert in a vacuum, is he better? Of course. Even Joe Burrow, you can argue. But this is an individual award, and Jalen Hurts was the
It's
better
about who
quarterback
had the
this year.
best year. Yep.
Exactly.
He had the better
And
year out of the guys.
I wanted to award Jalen Hurts for that, man, because Josh Allen, he had some shaky picks this year in the red zone. He had a tough stretch, honestly. And Jalen Hurts, to me, when was his rough stretch, Max?
When he
We
got
don't
hurt?
exactly like when he got hurt. And week 18 was his worst game all year. But that's why I picked Jalen, man. And Patrick Mahomes is self-explanatory, man. He's
He's
the
the
MVP
MVP.
of the league. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Agree.
he's great. Yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to running back position, man. So excited, unanimous. We only went with one running back, Josh Jacobs, man. And
You
Max, you can
know,
take the floor with this one.
if McCaffrey had been doing this all year one, I would have said let's have 2, but McCaffrey's been doing it half a year. Josh Jacobs has been a standout guy, one of the best guys at making people miss, running hard, running behind a bad O line, not necessarily the most creative, necessarily not the most talented offense. Excuse me. So I just thought Josh Jacobs deserved it. I don't. I think he won the rushing crown. It's not just about who has the most rushing yards. To me, he had the best film any running back I saw this year,
Yeah.
and it was consistent. It was all year.
And he improved as a player, man. One of the big things about him was durability. He played
Yep.
every single game this year. And one of the big things with him is in the passing game. He was over here taking shit to the house through the passing game. And I think one of the most dominating games I've seen him do was that Seattle game, man. He dominated that game. He won that game for the Raiders in overtime with that big run. Me and Max always have an ongoing joke with Josh Jacobs, how he does not have breakaway speed. He finally showed it on that one play. So it just seems like everything came together for him. He deserves a contract.
They
He
didn't pick
deserves
up
to
the
get
4th-year
paid.
option. They're gonna pay for it.
Yeah, they're gonna pay for it, man. We'll see what happens. That's a little off-season talk for you guys, but Josh Jacobs most definitely deserved all-pro running back number 1 for the MJC.
Unanimous.
Exactly. Look, this is where it gets tough, man. Wide receivers.
So I would
So
say we had one guy unanimous, and it's the guy in the middle.
exactly. Yeah. And there was a lot of guys in consideration. Wide receivers is the most hardest position to pick for these teams. We always have the issue every year. You could literally pick 3 other fresh guys and people wouldn't be mad at you,
You know,
honestly.
it seems like, especially last year, there's one guy for sure. No, everyone like Cooper Cup for sure.
Yeah.
Then it was like,
Yeah.
what about Jamar? What about Justin? What about Tyreek Hill? I don't know.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs.
Stephon
So,
Diggs. Yeah.
you know, I think we both were leaning towards AJ just because of what we thought he brought to the Eagles. And Devontae, as one spells his own player's name wrong. I just want to point that out and expose
That's
him.
that's autocorrect or whatever. I
No,
do the
I'm just
graphics on my phone, okay? I think
no,
I spelled it right though. I think that's how you
it's an E.
spell it.
It's an E at the end,
No, it's
Juan.
with A. Isn't that how you spells it?
No, it's
Let
an
me
A.
double
It's
check
an
on that.
E.
Go ahead. Talk about Devontae though.
Yeah, no, he had a great year. Granted, if you're gonna just base the last 3 weeks on
Oh, it
it,
is with a E.
yeah, I
It's
know.
not A.
I'm embarrassed for you. I'm embarrassed to be a part of the show. You're a
Go
Raider
ahead.
fan. You're a Raider fan. But no, I think even though there was a lot of crap around him, there's no weapons. Derek Carr had kind of a down year. He was awesome. He was worth the trade. It didn't have the impact we thought it was going to have, but he was awesome.
Yeah, most touchdowns in the league for Devontae Adams,
Really?
and
Wow.
yeah, most touchdowns in the league, and 100 catches. Everyone thought his production was going to go down with Derek Carr, and he didn't miss a beat, bro. And he was the best player on offense on some days when Josh Jacobs wasn't having an amazing day. But I just think with everything around him, Devontae was amazing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He did it against elite play. He did it against the Patrick Surtains. Like he was doing it against what's his name, man? I'm thinking of
Got a team?
no, he went against an elite corner this year that was really good. Not Surtain, forgetting who he went against.
Travius Ward?
Tariq Woolen.
Tariq Woolen? Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of guys.
But AJ Brown, he's our flex. Me and like Max said, we're kind of in agreement of AJ Brown of giving him his respect, man. And we all know that he has Devontae Smith on the other side, and Jalen Hurts has had an amazing year. But I think the importance of AJ Brown and what he brings to the Eagles, man, is nonetheless, bro.
He
Like
just brings it
it's
in. Throw it up, F it. He'll go get it. Don't worry about it.
it's physicality though. He
Yeah.
brings a certain physicality to the Eagles
Absolutely.
offense.
I love him, man. He's been one of my favorite Eagles in recent memory.
Yeah. And you got the finesse guy in Devontae Smith, and you got the physical guy in AJ Brown.
Absolutely.
And you know how much I've been an AJ Brown fan from the fucking get-go, bro. I think I had him in my all-pro team the first year we did this. I wanted to have him on.
Well, I just remember in that
all-pro.
draft, I liked DK, you liked AJ, and we both ended up being right about those Ole Miss boys.
Yeah, exactly. But there goes your wide receivers for team 1. All right, let's go ahead and move on to
We're going tight end,
the
guys. Just guess. Take a second. Figure it out. Wow. It's Travis Kelce. What need be said, Juan?
future Hall of Famer, uh, best tight end, not even close. Darren Waller hurt all year. George Kittle inconsistent this year. He finished strong, yes,
Mark
but nowhere
Andrews hurt.
near. Yeah, nowhere near Travis Kelce.
No.
Travis Kelce ran away with this one. It's not even close. And spoiler alert, he is the only tight end in any of the All Pros for Team One and Team Two. That's
Yep.
how good he is. Enough said. Okay, let's move on to the big boys. All right, tackles. We got Andrew Thomas and we got Lane Johnson.
I
Anything you got
think
to say
people are
about
not
them?
gonna like the Andrew Thomas one. Lane, self-explanatory. You guy doesn't give up pressures, doesn't give up sacks, can maul in the run game. I think Andrew Thomas just is leaps and bounds getting better every year. And I thought this year he was awesome. And yeah, they're gonna people give some sacks. Well, look at the way they play. Daniel Jones isn't necessarily known. He runs himself into some sacks. I'm just gonna put it
Yeah,
like that. And I think Andrew Thomas, he's just a stud. He's a freaking stud.
yeah. And who were some of the guys that we had above these, under these guys? Excuse me.
Oh, we had Trent Williams. And you'll see some. Are we gonna do the second team today too?
Yeah, we can do the second team, but like, why are some of the reasons we didn't go with Trent?
Oh, he missed
Injuries.
some time, missed a good
Yeah,
amount of time.
yeah,
You think about a lot of the left tackles, it's kind of like a young man's game. Like it's moved the left tackles of the old are kind of out, especially like we'll think about some of the left tackles from us. Jason Peters, he's all old washed. Tyron Smith, he's done. Dwayne Brown, still kicking it in New York. There's no Mekhi Becton.
yeah.
I think Worse wasn't as good this year. He was hurt. Rashawn Slater got knocked out week 1.
I think a guy that's really slow and steady and kind of went under the radar this year because they sucked as a team. Ryan Ramczyk is still up there, you know,
I think
but
Laramie Tunsil, we have to have some discussions about him because he's just dying
yeah,
in Houston slowly.
right.
He's just wasting away in Houston.
But tackles, you can go a lot of ways, man. I think Lane Johnson was the like number one pick for us, but that
Unanimous.
second, yeah,
Unanimous.
that second spot could have been a lot of guys, but I agreed with Max with Andrew Thomas. I wasn't mad at it. That was Max's pick. And I what's the cutoff for you, Max, for guys missing games?
I think if you miss a quarter of the season, you kind of get docked. Like 4
Yeah,
games, and I'm like, oh, that's a lot. 1 or
yeah.
2, you can stomach it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Let's go to the guards. This one's going to be interesting for a lot of guys. Little bit under the radar for Trey Smith. This was my pick. Christian Lindstrom, absolute dog this year. He's been playing very well for the Atlanta Falcons. He's the reason why a guy like Tyler Algier has had an
Yeah.
amazing rookie year. He's one of the pillars of that offensive line for the Atlanta Falcons. But Trey Smith, man, if you guys have any type of NFL Game Pass or can rewatch some of these Chiefs games, watch Trey Smith number 65, man. He mauls guys. He's very good in space. He's one of the most underrated linemen in the league, and I wanted to award him with first team All Pro.
Maybe it's just because he's a 6th-round pick, or because you think of guys like Creed Humphrey, he gets to play next to, or Orlando Brown. He's a stud. You never really see guys beat him. I know last year he was kind of the weak link. I thought this year he was outstanding.
Yeah, and all the attention goes to the center and Creed Humphreys, who will probably make an appearance on this list if you guys stay tuned. Uh their offensive line is just very underrated. They have a lot of guys a lot of people forget about. And Patrick Mahomes, the least sack quarterback in the league, correct?
I think
Am I
it's
right
Tom
on that
Brady,
one?
but he's up there. He's really
Yeah,
up. They rebuilt that after that Super Bowl.
exactly. But Trey Smith and Christian Lindstrom for your guards for the all pro team. All right, last position. And I love this picture that I got for him, man. Center, Jason Kelsey,
Fat
Batman.
Batman. Easy. It's not even close. No offense, Creed Humphrey. In my book, it's Jason Kelsey. He's a stalwart.
Yeah. Unstoppable at the QB sneak. I think he's a big part of it,
He ran a QB
along with
sneak
Jalen.
himself.
Look, you gotta love Jason Kelsey, especially the elite play that he's playing at. at his age
Yeah,
is
he's no
absolutely
spring chicken.
insane. Yeah, man. And everyone's trying to get a Jason Kelsey these days. If you notice, everyone's trying to get that center or that guard that can move in space like Jason Kelsey. And no one really can't do it like him. And he continues to show it every single year. Like Max said, Creed Humphrey, we love him. Um, Spoiler alert, he's gonna be on the second team, but you got to give it up for Kelsey, bro. You got to give it up for him, man. He deserves
Absolutely.
it. And everyone got to love Kelsey. Anyone else for the center position, Max, that we threw out there? I can't remember.
No, it's pretty thin, dude. We were talking about how thin it is. We have Linderbaum, who may be on the come up. Brian Kelly everyone on the Colts had a bad year, especially for guards. We didn't even consider guys like Quentin Nelson, who we think the world of.
Yeah, tough year for a couple guys. You can't always go off name, man. This ain't the Pro Bowl. Can't go
No,
off names all the time.
no, it's not.
And speaking of names, let's go ahead and go to the defense. And we're gonna start with one of the most premium positions in football, and features your defensive player of the year for me and Max. Nick Bosa, edge one, unanimous. There's no question. He was number one for us. And number two is going to be a very big disagreement, probably, and going to raise some eyebrows. Max went with Hassan Riddick. He gave a pretty good case. I would love to hear Max's case on the podcast. Go ahead, Max.
Well, one, I just thought he was very disruptive, and he doesn't get to rush the passer like Nick Bosa. He drops in coverage a lot. The Eagles defensive coordinator, John Gannon, was just talking about it the other day. He was talking about, hey, if this guy didn't drop back so much, you probably have 25 sacks. And we always don't think sacks are the way to go, but he got pressure. He kicked ass in coverage, tackle. He meant a lot to this Eagles team. And I think he's found a home here in Philly. I love him, man. And this is a guy we thought was fool's gold 2 years ago, and he's not. He's just like kind of a late bloomer.
Yeah. And he's part of that defensive line for the Eagles, who are a league high 70 sacks in
Yep,
the
he led it.
NFL, number
Yeah,
one. And he led the way, bro. A lot of people are going to say, he benefits off a lot of the guys off that defensive line, but it's
they
something when you're the
benefit
lead
too.
guy in sacks.
Yeah,
Yeah. And they
absolutely.
benefit too. Hassan Riddick, dude, um, he was kind of a bust his first 3 years in Arizona, whether
Yeah,
people
like I
want to admit
said,
it or not.
late bloomer,
Yeah, and they played him at the wrong
middle
position. Maybe,
linebacker.
you know what though? Maybe there's a light at the end of the tunnel for a guy like Isaiah
I was
Simmons.
thinking that maybe same story. They're playing him the wrong way.
Exactly. But there you go. Hassan Riddick, man. Let us know in the comments if you guys agree with that one, disagree. We would love to hear your thoughts, opinions about that one. Because I know that one's gonna raise some eyebrows. I already know. Max always has a little different perspective on defensive linemen. I kind of roasted him a couple years ago with the Brian Burns, but he proved to be right. Brian Burns is a dog.
Thank you, Juan. It's nice to hear that. Yeah, this is crazy.
All right, defensive tackle Chris Jones, unanimous.
There's
There was
one,
no talks
guys.
here.
There's no Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
It's not a legacy thing. Aaron Donald had a bad year. He got hurt for the first time, not very productive. Rams defense in general all took a step back.
Yeah, man.
Just so you guys know, Aaron Donald's still an awesome guy, Hall of Famer, love him. But I think we can agree this year wasn't his year.
Chris Jones, man. Where do we start? I mean, he's been kind of
In the shadow of
on
Aaron
Aaron
Donald his whole
Donald.
career.
Yeah, he's been on the heels of him all fucking his whole career. And Chris Jones is legitimately the reason why the Kansas City Chiefs win games at times. Like, yeah, Mahomes and Tyreek Hill back in a year ago, and Andy Reid. We always talk about him, but he seems to always go under the radar. Chris Jones, the guy that always winds up bringing him up. Chris Collinsworth. I know he's a big fan of like Chris Jones when we watch him on NBC, but a lot of people forget to talk about him, dude. He is absolutely
Well, he
fucking.
doesn't play a sexy position. He's just a big ugly who just kicks butt.
That's the thing, though. He gets the flashy plays.
I know, but he's not Mahomes. He's not Tyreek
Yeah,
Hill. Who's watching Chris Jones highlights instead of Patrick Mahomes or Tyreek Hill?
right.
Only people
Right.
like us who are insane in the head a little bit.
Yeah, but Kansas City Chiefs, man. Chris Jones, they got a good one. Let's go ahead and move on to let's go linebackers. There we go. Kind of hard to see. Linebackers, Fred Warner, unanimous. No talks here, no arguments here. Me and Max both agreed on Fred Warner. A year ago, we called him the second best linebacker with Darius Leonard in the mix. It's official. Fred Warner is the best linebacker in the league this year. I don't think it's close. He's absolutely amazing. He's a seeking missile. He's a tackling machine. He got a lot of shit last year for playing poor at times, but he's cleaned that all up, man. And he's the leader of that 49ers defense, as good as they
He's
are.
everywhere. He is everywhere.
And linebacker number 2, this is going to be a eyebrow raiser. And me and Max agreed on this one. Matt Milano, who's just one of these underrated ass players. If you guys don't know who he is, watch the Buffalo Bills on defense. More often than not, he will take you towards the ball because Matt Milano is fucking everywhere. And the one thing that I value in linebackers and what Max values in linebackers, coverage. You got to be able to move in space. You got to be able to cover guys. Matt Milano is one of the best coverage linebackers in the league by far.
Yeah, he absolutely is. This isn't the days of the 80s where you always need thumpers. You need guys who can play in space, and both these guys can play against pass and run.
Yeah. So there you go, Matt Milano. Some other guys in consideration, Max. Who did we have? Who had some talks?
Roquan Smith, Oluluquan from Jacksonville. Tremaine Edmonds had some love from us. Jermaine Pratt. So many.
Yeah, Jermaine Pratt.
So many guys. Yeah. Bobby Wagner had a little bit of juice left. We thought
Bobby Wagner was tough, especially for the second team. He is just so fucking consistent, dude, and it was really hard to.
But you can just tell he's gotten a little old. You can just tell a little bit,
right?
But he is old, but he's still awesome.
He is still amazing, and like we have on the offense, don't get it twisted. Defense got flex positions too, and you're probably wondering, we didn't talk about him with edges. He made it to the team, dog.
And yeah, Micah Parsons. I was a little worried myself. I was like, oh crap, Micah's coming in here, right? One didn't forget him, but no. If there was ever a guy for a flex, it's Micah Parsons.
He fits it so well. We should just give it to him 10 years straight. If he keeps on playing like this, just make that his home. Be like, all right, flex, we throw in Micah Parsons, don't worry. But look, Micah Parsons, man, he may not have the stats for it. He kind of died down at the end of the season. He was going crazy there for a moment. I think Nick Bosa passed him up as far as like, the defensive player of the year. But that doesn't mean that he's not an impact player still. He wrecks games. He's a pass rusher. He's great in coverage.
Awesome linebacker.
He's everywhere. A stand-up linebacker. He's a seeking missile, bro. And Micah Parsons is a generational talent, and he just had another great year. And it's gonna be hard because everyone's gonna expect him to like put up the like big stats every year. But I feel like
he a chance to. I feel like he's not. How's he gonna get 20 sacks? He doesn't rush that much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't get me wrong, he rushes, but it's not like every down they're like, go get the quarterback. They're like, hey, drop back. Hey, play middle linebacker for us this game because they can run really good. He's Micah. Yeah. He's special. He's his own thing.
Yeah. And if we had to choose, like, let's say we did have rules in here, but like Max said in the beginning, if you guys look at some all pros in years past, they had more than 11 guys on the team. So we didn't really go in here with rules, but if there was only 2 edges allowed, I think we would have put Nick Bosa and Micah Parsons, correct? Over Hassan Riddick. Just to clarify.
We would have just kicked Bosa inside as a second D tackle and still had Hassan Reddick, baby. That's what we do.
Oh, my goodness. But Micah Parsons over Hassan, right? Just to clear that up.
It's close. No, it's Micah. It's Micah.
It's Micah. Let's go ahead and move on to the corners, man. Premium position. This one's going to have some debate. Sauce Gardner, unanimous for us. I didn't put 1, 2, or 3 for them because I feel like they're all pretty damn good, and you can take it for what it is. Darius Slay, a guy who Max kind of reminded me of. They were like, "What? We ain't gonna have Darius Slay?" I was like, "Fuck, Darius Slay did
That's
have
not
a
me even trying to
fucking
be an Eagle homer.
yeah."
Darius Slay had an amazing year.
And my guy was JC Horn, who is one of these guys. And I know I told Max this. I said, I know he has the Namdi Asamoah syndrome right now. Because Carolina wasn't that good. Carolina gets down in games and
CJ
they stop.
Henderson is just lovable. He's the Eli Apple.
Yeah. And it's throw anywhere but JC Horn's way. But dude, you got to give JC Horn some love, man.
And
He
Joey said it. He's like, JC Horn's playing out of his mind. He's the best corner. And I was like, it's like week 4, bro. Let's chill out a little bit. He
yeah,
proved it. Let's see next year if he can even get better one. JC Horn had a hell of a year. Sucks it
yeah.
ended the way it did. Great year from JC.
And Sauce Gardner, the rookie.
Yeah,
I
when he
can't
wasn't getting
remember.
cooked up, he was having a great year.
Stop, Max. I don't get why you say that joke. That was DJ Reed, obviously.
There's Sauce. Cover the whole field, bro.
How impressive though for Sauce, man, to be
Other than being a scheme guy, a scheme only guy, he's a dog. No, Sauce
stop.
Gardner, he's a great corner. He helped the Jets defense tremendously. He's got the swag, got the height, and I think the
Were
sky's the
you
limit
wrong
for the
about
kid.
him in the draft process?
I was
A
a
little
little
bit.
wrong. I was a little wrong. I will say that. I still
You didn't hate him. You
no,
didn't hate
I
him.
had him like what 2, 3?
Yeah.
I think I had him 3, but yeah, Sauce was good. So I never thought Sauce was going to be a bust.
And I would be lying to you if I told you that I thought Sauce was going to be an all pro his rookie year. I mean, that's
Yeah,
a big accomplishment, man.
very
What's the last rookie that you remember being an all pro type of guy off top,
as
like
a
off
DB.
out the gates? Yeah, as a DB.
Marshawn Lattimore. That's the only guy I can think of.
Yeah, he really
And
did
he
have a good
was
rookie year.
spectacular.
Yeah, yeah. Some guys that are in consideration. Who did we have for this one? I know a guy like
Ugh.
Jalen Ramsey who is still really good,
No,
but he got
no,
cooked up this
There
year.
was no consideration for Jalen Ramsey this year. Sorry,
Yeah, but
everybody.
a lot of people are going to say, "What about Jalen Ramsey?" Because I do think he's still good.
Oh
He's
no, he's
just
still
not playing.
good. He
He's
wasn't
not
an
playing
all
at
pro
an all-pro
level.
level.
Correct. We had
Yeah,
guys, we had some Patrick Peterson love, some Patrick Surtain, Jair Alexander, Tre'Davious Ward. I think we briefly mentioned Marlon Humphrey, who's just been kind of quiet after. I
yeah.
mean, it's his first year back from a big injury, so maybe he'll bounce
Another
back.
rookie, Tariq Woolen.
Tariq Woolen, yeah, man. Oh, Tariq Woolen was so freaking good.
Yeah.
Anyone else really?
Trayvon Diggs.
No, there was a little bit of Diggs in there.
I seen him. I seen him on the list, but I didn't mention him. I didn't think he played at an all. Last year, he played on an all pro level because he
Yeah,
was getting the picks. He was getting the
historic.
picks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
historic. Yeah, I think the safeties are going to be the most controversial one. I'm just looking at the list going forward. I think people are going to hate that Kyle Duggar one, but he is so freaking good. Let's save him for last. Derwin, he does so much for this team. They put him in so many bad. Hey, play slot corner. He's not a slot corner, guys. Hey, rush the passer. He's just a great football player.
And he's getting better and better every single year. He was one of these guys for the Patriots along with Jack Jones, who's just a spark, man. He would, whether it's recovering a fumble, causing a fumble, getting a pick six to score some points for that dreadful Patriots offense. Kyle Duggar, man, huge fan of him. I love his game. And Derwin James, he's great, man. He just needs to learn how to stay healthy a little bit more. Got a little bit banged up. A lot of guys were in consideration for this one, though. There was a lot of guys. Jesse Bates, Ryan Neal had an amazing year for the Seattle Seahawks. Minka Fitzpatrick, a lot of guys for the safety position, man. Even a guy like Anthony, Kyle Hamilton, safety rookie from Notre Dame, plays on the Baltimore Ravens. Quiet year,
That's what I said,
but
right? Like he was really good, but it was just like, can you make one highlight play just to remind us that you're like a first round pick and you were supposed to be
yeah,
a top 5 guy? Can you just
yeah.
remind us of that? I agree. The safety's in good hands. I think moving forward, there's a lot of good ones. And Kyle Duggar, I think he's really special. He's going to be one of those New England guys who no one talks about how good he was.
Yeah, a couple guys fell off the map this year, whether it was because of their play getting old or being hurt. Like Micah Hyde got hurt. I know Jordan Poyer was banged up this year.
Yeah.
Tyrann Mathieu didn't really play all that well for the Saints this year. Just a lot of guys who kind of fell off because those were the guys at the top of the list
You know
last week.
what? There was one we could have mentioned, and I don't really think we'd had a big talk. CJ Gardner-Johnson, not trying to be an Eagles homer. He was really good for the Eagles. Had a lot of picks, got hurt 6 weeks ago, but that was another guy we could have thrown in there.
All right. You want to keep on going, Max, or you want to save team 2 for another day? Because we're at 1 hour and 15 minutes.
I think we could save it, or unless you wanted to speed through it. I feel
No,
like it's
I think we deserve to give us some talk because I like talking about these, so we'll save it.
okay.
I think we're gonna call it. So those are your all pro for the MJC, bro. MJC all pro team, first team. We hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys missed it or you feel like we're talking too fast or whatever the case is, man, I'm gonna post those exact graphics on Instagram so you guys can check them out there. We'll try to get some feedback on IG as well.
I'm sure we'll be wrong about a bunch of guys.
Oh yeah, people are gonna flame us up. You know, I'm gonna get shit for the Trey Smith. Do you even watch film? You do
His
this,
PFF grade was low.
Yeah, it's like fuck that PFF grade, dude. Don't take everything into consideration. Like, just take everything with a grain of salt, dude. Like, just go ahead and absorb a bunch of information about these guys and use it, but don't put everything into it. Put your own knowledge and opinion into these things. All right. We hope that the AP All Pro is similar to ours. Maybe they're thinking the same thing. The players did come out and it wasn't all that bad, but you did see a lot of love for like players who have that just respect because of the namesake.
Like Aaron Donald. Like
exactly. That's just respect. That's just respect.
Career, so it's like, yeah, that's no problem. Kind of like Kobe syndrome at the end.
And it's fucking crazy, Max. As bad as we're talking about Aaron Donald,
still was good when he played.
He was still fucking
really good.
He was still really good, man. But there goes for the All Pros, man. Next, we'll either do it Sunday or at the Pick'ems. We'll see how it goes.
We'll save it for the Pick'ems one. There won't be that many games.
Yeah. Okay. We'll save them for the Pick'ems then. That's going to do it. We hope you guys enjoy all the Super Wildcard Weekend games this week. I know me and Max are. We're super excited, man. We hope you guys enjoy that. Stay safe out there. Max, any last words?
Not much, man. Just enjoy some football. We'll be here on Sunday to talk about it. Go. Oh, wait. My team doesn't play. Never mind. Go Birds.
Go Jacksonville. Go Jags. Duval County.
Eagles
Let's
fly.
fucking do it.
Bolt up. Bolt up. Lightning that damn Jaguar.
Oh, my goodness. All right, y'all. We'll see you guys Sunday night. Okay? Peace.